you.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, hello, my name is Hannah. You should subscribe down below. I post new videos every Thursday and Sunday, so stick around. It's a good time around here. Woo! For today's video, we are going to be filming like a how to budget / save money as a college student, because sometimes it can be a hashtag struggle, to say the least, to like budget your money and like figure out like what you should and should not be spending your money on. So I thought it would be helpful for me to like make a video to share the ways that I try to save money and like all that fun stuff. I am not an expert. I sometimes spend a lot of money, and I don't know, sometimes that's life, but I feel like I do a pretty good job with like managing my money. So I thought I'd make a video to share my thoughts and ideas with you guys. So if you're interested, then keep on watching. Okay, so I literally have like a fat list on my phone about everything that I want to talk about. So we're just gonna get right into it. So the first thing, obviously, don't spend more than you make. I feel like that's a given. Like, if you have a job and you make money, then you don't want to be spending more money than you make, because that's just not going to do you any good. So the way you can do that is by like try to really reel in your expenses. Be more self-conscious of what you're buying and purchasing, because like I know like when you live at home, it's just easy to like spend like money on whatever, because your parents are the one who are paying for you to like eat food and like all that stuff. But like in college, it's like the first time you're living on your own, so you just really need to like be more mindful about what you're spending and just like try and reel in your expenses. One thing that I recommend you guys doing is to make an expense tracker. Some people like to do it on an app. I personally like to write it down, just because I'm actually writing down my expenses that I'm making, and I'm seeing like the amount of money that's coming out of my account, which sometimes can be dangerous, because I'm like, I don't know. But yeah, I feel like making an expense tracker is a good way to just make sure that you're keeping track of the money going in and out of your account, and that way you can like see at the end of the month if you like end in the month in like the positive numbers or like in the negative numbers, if that makes sense. So on top of making an expense tracker, I always make a budget tracker too. So like on, or like in my bullet journal, I have like 2 pages, and I'll do an expense tracker and a budget tracker right next to each other. So the budget tracker is more of like a thing that it's like your goal for like how much you want to spend in each category for the month. So my budget tracker is like separated into sections. So I have groceries, food, they are different for me at least, I'll get into that later, gas, miscellaneous, and for me, I have shopping on my budget, because I really like shopping. I'm sorry, like I do. And it's, I don't know, I just like shopping, so it has to go into my budget, because like, I don't know, it's inevitable and it's bad, but like, sorry. For the budget tracker, like the goal is to try and figure out how much you're going to be spending roughly each month on each category. So you want to try and make your budget tracker based off that. So like for me, I know that I spend a certain amount of money on groceries each like week, so I like times that by 4, and that's like my goal. So let's say I want to spend like maybe $75 a week on groceries, I'll times that by 4, and that's like the amount of money I want to be spending for groceries. And then I'll do that for like all of my categories. So food, this is when I mean like food in terms of like groceries and food is like the things that I'm spending when I like go out to dinner or like buy myself like lunch or something like that. That's what I consider food. And then gas, obviously you have to get gas if you have a car. If not, then maybe you want to like, I don't know, track how much you're spending on Ubers or like public transportation, because that can also add up pretty quickly. And then miscellaneous, I feel like this is just like random expenses you have throughout the month. And then shopping, you buy clothes, at least I buy clothes, so yeah, I have a budget like section for that as well. So for me, I placed like my first priority in my budget tracker for my food. This is the area that I spend the most amount of money each month on, because I don't know, you need food to live. Food is what fuels your body, so that's what I spend the most money on. So I section out the largest amount of money in my budget tracker for this, and I feel like this is pretty universal. Like, most people probably spend the most money on food, whether it's groceries or like going out. So each week I try to go grocery shopping and get everything that I need for the entire week, and this helps me save money because I try to not eat out. I try to use the food that I have. I also make a grocery list every week, so I recommend that you guys try and make like a meal plan, so that way you know what you're going to be cooking and making throughout the week, and then you can have a grocery list of everything that you need to buy, and that way you're not overbuying and spending too much money on unnecessary foods that are probably going to go to waste. Like I was saying before, I definitely recommend that you guys eat in as much as possible. So for me, I like allow myself to spend or to like go out once a week, and whether that's like getting dinner or like going to lunch or like, I don't know, buying a smoothie from like a smoothie place or whatever. I just allow myself to do that once a week because it can add up. Food really adds up. It's like easy to be like, oh, I'm just gonna go grab lunch here, and then that's like $10-15, and like if you do that like 3 times a week, that's already like 45 bucks that you could have spent on something else, like, I don't know, gas, clothes. So yeah, that's how I think that. Some ways that I recommend you guys like eat in, like if you know you're gonna be gone all day, like for me on Tuesdays I'm not home all day, so I pack a lunch, and that way I don't have to buy lunch while I'm on campus, and I have it and it's free, and also it tends to be healthier than whatever you buy on campus. So that's another good tip for you guys. Okay, so the next thing that we're gonna be talking about now that we've covered kind of both groceries and food is gas. So gas is something that's kind of hard depending on like how much you drive and like where you have to drive and like how far away you live from school and all that stuff. But for me, I try and go at least like 2 weeks with to get my gas and everything. Also, I recommend you guys try and find like the cheapest gas station. Obviously, don't be driving like 15 minutes to the cheapest gas station because you're just wasting money on gas trying to drive there when you like could go to a closer one. So yeah, just like relatively try and find like gas that is pretty cheap. That's what I do. Also, carpooling is also really helpful. If you and your roommates have class at the same time, you guys can carpool. That's what me and my roommates would do all the time last semester, and it worked out and we ended up saving money on gas. This semester it's kind of different. We all have different schedules, so we can't really do that. But I really recommend you guys carpool because it's good for the environment. You're saving money. So that's kind of like all the tips I have for like in terms of like spending money on gas. It's kind of hard to like save money when it comes to gas besides carpooling. So yeah, just make sure you guys are like budgeting out a like certain amount of money each month for gas, because that is something that you have to spend money on. It's kind of necessary if you want to get from place to place. Oh, also I forgot to mention, if you do live on campus, then trying to like reel in the amount of times that you use Uber, and if you do have to use Uber, then like share it with your friends, so that way you guys can all split the Uber and then the price can go down as well. Public transportation is also a good one that you guys can use because a lot of the times it's cheaper. I know at least at ASU we have a shuttle that goes from campus to campus and it's free, so that's always great. You're really saving money there. And yeah, next category is the miscellaneous category. So when I mean like miscellaneous, like I just mean like the random stuff that you have to pay for that you didn't realize that you would have to pay for. So this is like things like paying for parking, or I don't know, if you want to go out to a movie, that's kind of like miscellaneous. So each month I always give myself like $25 to $50 of like miscellaneous like purchases, just because I don't know, life happens, things happen, you're gonna like, I don't know, just have to pay for random stuff. So it's always good to budget some money, but also being mindful about how much you are spending, because parking adds up. So if you can, try and find free parking. That's what I try and do. Parking at friends' places, and you guys can walk together if that's possible. That's also what I do. But yeah, just trying to like be mindful about everything that you are spending is really helpful, and it just like makes you realize just like the amount of money that you actually spend on like the things that you're doing. My last category, for me at least, I know everyone probably doesn't have this in their budget tracker, but I do, and it's shopping, because we all know I have a slight problem with shopping. Not slight, I have a problem, okay? It's bad, whatever. But in order to like help my shopping addiction, if I don't go shopping, I'll end up just like going crazy one month and just like buying everything that I want. So in order to help with that, I always, like every month, I allow myself to buy one thing that I want. And I don't know, I try not to like have it be like super expensive, but just like a small little thing. Like if I want like a new pair of jeans, I'll like allow myself to buy like a pair of jeans, or like a cute shirt that I saw that I liked. So yeah, I feel like allowing myself to only buy one thing a month is a good way to help me control my shopping addiction, while also allowing myself just to like treat myself every once in a while, if that makes any sense. But hey, if you aren't a shopping person and you really don't care about shopping, props to you. I wish I could be like you, but I'm not, and so it's in my budget, okay? So yeah, so my battery's flashing, so I'm gonna try and finish this off really quickly. But I just had one more thing to say in terms of like saving your money. At the end of every month, I always like to take 10% out of my like paychecks, or like anything that I've received as an income. I always take 10% and put it into my savings. That way you're not just like spending all your money and like not like saving for anything, because I feel like it's always good to be saving for something, whether it's something small or something really big. So I always take 10% of my money and I put it into savings, because that way I have a little bit of extra like cushion money, if that makes any sense, just in case like anything goes wrong or something like that. Alright, so those are just about all the tips that I have to share with you guys in terms of like saving your money. Once again, I just really think it's important to make a budget tracker. That way you like have set amount of money that you want to spend each month, and also an expense tracker, so you are tracking everything. So once again, I hope it was helpful. If you guys liked it and you want to see more like budgeting, or like, I don't know, the ways like that I specifically budget my money, then I don't know, like this video, subscribe down below, and I will see you for my next one. Bye!